got a show to glow. Life stories wild like a late night dream. We're spilling the tea and it's hot like steam. Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Brutsy and Kitty show. From trending news to the tales untold. Spinning the wheel, let the stories unfold. Catch us in the vibe where the chatter grows. With a pair that keeps you on your toes. What's the buzz? What's the word? Spill it fast, haven't you heard? Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Brutsy and Kitty show. Truth or dare, we're taking the leap. Stories that'll make you laugh or weep. Tune in now, let the fun explode. This is your stop, it's the Brutsy code. To the tales untold. Spinning the wheel, let the stories unfold. Catch us in the vibe where the chatter grows. With a pair that keeps you on your toes. What's the buzz? What's the word? Spill it fast, haven't you heard? Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Brutsy and Kitty show. Truth or dare, we're taking the leap. Stories that'll make you laugh or weep. Tune in now, let the fun explode. This is your stop, it's the Brutsy code. Voices loud and ready to flow. Brutsy and Giddy got a show to glow. Life stories wild like a late night dream. We're spilling the tea and it's hot like steam. Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Brutsy and Kitty show. From trending news to the tales untold. Spinning the wheel, let the stories unfold. Catch us in the vibe where the chatter grows. With a pair that keeps you on your toes. What's the buzz? What's the word? Spill it fast, haven't you heard?
Up on the platform. We're going a little bit different, guys, today. We're going live on TikTok as well. Well, we're live as well, but I've got the lovely Kitty on the TikTok stream as well. That way she can engage with the questions and you're not just relying on the lovely me. Let me just set up on the other platform. Just bear with me a second. Shout out to everybody coming in and liking, guys. Will be 2 seconds and then we'll get the show popping. Really good chat yesterday. I really enjoyed that. Did you?
Yes, I did.
Really
I love the fact that I could read the things that were coming in, people talking.
It just makes it,
and
I think it makes that definitely makes it easier, and if you're able to sort of deal with the chats as well, sort
Yeah.
of, because I'm just like sometimes I'm just like I feel like I'm being rude sometimes as well if I'm not interacting with it. Shout out to everybody! Shout out to everybody coming in.
I also, thank you for being brave enough to the guys that came in as well, because I know it's a bit when you first do it, but thank you for coming in and talking to us.
Yes, indeed, indeed. We want people to come in. We want you to interact, interact with my water. Let me get a sip of water. Kitty, what's the stories of the day? The title I've gone with today is Can We Trust a Reform Government? And Mr. T has been found not guilty of Tism. Kitty, where do we start?
Where can we start? I mean, I think we can possibly continue from yesterday, because yesterday one of the things, what I don't want anybody to think is we don't want you to vote reform.
Yeah.
What we want you to do is ask the questions before you make that decision, because we've got we've got a feeling that they're coming in the next 3 years, but we want you to make them work for it. We want you to ask the questions. There's no point in them promising us everything and saying this is what we're going to do if they're not going to tell us how they're going to do it. Because let's face it, every government that's come in has come in with these really outlandish, big ideas of how they, what they're going to do, and it's very rare that they've come up with it in the end. They've usually had to back down. So what we want you to do is ask the questions that we're asking. Can we trust reform? Personally, I've always said no, because I don't trust Nigel Farage. He makes me feel a bit.
Yeah, I think after the Brexit thing, yeah, he got us Brexit. He promised us if we got Brexit that it would generate an extra 350 million or whatever it was. He paraded a bus round 350 million every week extra for the NHS, which sounded fabulous. It sounded great, but that didn't happen. We're still waiting for it. And then a lot of I think a lot of the Reform fan base, I think they're going to be like working class and under that. I'm not putting down anyone, but I feel like that's where the bulk of their bread and butter is going to be. And the fact that they're attacking people that are unable to work for anxiety and stuff is not going to be a popular one with them. And also today we're hearing about them wanting to lower the minimum wage. I'm like, why on earth would you want to do that?
Yeah, you can't tell us that we can't afford things and then tell us that you're going to lower it.
Yeah.
When you consider that currently the under 21, I think it is £8.60 an hour.
Yeah.
£8.60 an hour. That's horrific. I think it's £11.44 if you're older than that. And also they're very, very they want to introduce into more companies zero contracts.
Yeah.
So not only are you not guaranteed that you're going to get that £8.60 an hour, because of these zero contracts. These are the things we want you to know before you make those votes. Like I say, we're not against reform. We're just asking you to do your due diligence. So
Man Dogs come in straight away with the £8.60 an hour is not even enough to get yourself a Nando's.
Exactly. And that's how you have to look at it. You can't even afford your lunch. You can just about get a meal deal from somewhere like, I wasn't going to say Tesco's, or I'm not advertising for anyone. You can't. It's barely a meal deal. And like you say, and then they can send you home at lunchtime because they don't have to promise you 8 hours of work or 9 hours or 10 hours.
This seems like it's benefiting the owners, like the business owners. It doesn't seem like it's the average Joe working 9 till 5. In the grind, paycheck to paycheck. It doesn't sound like that.
And also, he wants tax to be lowered for these business owners. So not only is he going to do this, he's going to do this as well. Like you say, it seems to be geared towards business owners and, like you say, the filthy rich. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. And it is literally, people are asking what's with the wig.
What's with the wig? Truthfully, to be honest with you, it's a prop that I bought just for a bit of fun, to be honest with you. But where I shave my hair all the time, my hair gets really sort of like, my scalp gets really irritable. So I put it on today just so I don't have to shave it for a couple of days, because I've got my sort of, I've got hairs growing this way, that way. So yeah, guys, that's what it's with. And it's a talking point, guys. It's a talking point, at least, as well.
Marie says, I think people are supporting reform as they are sick of broken promises between the two, but reform will not deliver. And I think that's something we've got to understand. You've got to look back at every government that's ever come in, and whenever any of them kept their promises. Kept their they've all said, we're going to lower taxes, we're going to do this, and blindly we've gone, yay, they're going to do it. And then they've come in and they've said, actually, no. And it also looks like, Rachel Reeve did a pre-budget thing this morning, and she looks like she's going the same way. She wants to lower things. She's basically said it's going to get nasty. It's going to get personal.
Yeah. I think we've got some. I think, as always, guys, the wealthy are going to stay rich, and the guys that are paycheck to paycheck, the guys that don't have money to put into a mortgage or anything, they're gonna really struggle.
Yeah, anybody who believes Keir Starmer is a fool, I think anybody that believes the governments and anybody that is trying to get your vote, I think we're very silly to. I just don't know where to go with this, because as a person that can vote, and as a woman that has fought, women have fought through the years to get that vote, I feel like it's my duty to vote. But do I know where to put it? Hell no. Hell no. Where do you put a vote when you know that reform cannot fulfill their manifestation in manifestos?
Okay. Sorry, Keith. I was just literally listening in on that YouTube stream just to double check. So what we got here? Are these two creators on the left? No, do you know what we are on this platform? We're not going to be allowed. We're not going to let people divide us left or right. We're going to come up. If you talk to us and you tell us something that Nigel Farage says and it makes sense, it makes sense. If you tell me something that Keir Starmer says, it makes sense. If you're one of the crazy right and you tell me Manchester's gone to shit and it's because of Sadiq Khan, and then we've probably got a problem. I've got to confront you on that. There's a lot of that. Like, I don't think some people even realise that Sadiq Khan only is the mayor of London, not Manchester, not Birmingham, not all the other big cities and stuff.
You would think he was on that train as well. The way people talk sometimes, it's like. We've got to understand he is just the mayor of London. We're not making excuses for him, because I am one of those people that really do not like him. I do not like him. I will say this: reform on paper looks fabulous, and I can see why people are edging towards them. And when you read the manifesto, you actually go, But I think as citizens, we have to ask the questions: where's this money coming from? I would ask the same questions of Conservative and Labour and the Liberal Democrats. I have to ask the questions. You can't come at me with a list.
The money's coming from Russia. Well, one of his MPs is actually serving time now, isn't he, for selling secrets to Russia? Actually, one of the reform guys. I saw that the other day.
Reform don't look good on him. I'm not saying they do to me. I'm just saying.
What do you like, Kitty? Then what do you like about reform? Because we did go through some of the stuff. What do you like? Is there anything you do like about reform?
If we are to believe their manifesto, right? I like the fact that they want to pump money into the NHS.
Well, like last year, like what Nigel said last time. That's not what you like.
What's on paper. I'm only going on what's on paper. I'm saying if you look at what's on paper, I can understand how people are going towards reform.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, when you ask the questions, because we now know that Nigel has got a thing for the American healthcare system. He wants to eventually take Britain into the American healthcare system. I don't want that. But looking on paper at that manifesto, that list we went through, there are quite a few things. The illegal immigrants will be literally turned around and sent back to France. Well, France aren't going to take them. France are going to go with your problem now.
Yeah.
They're in your half of the channel.
I think people need to realize as well, with when it comes to politics, like, to get in power, you need backers from lobbyists, from lobbies. Like, there's companies out there that will back our politicians, that will fund their campaigns, and they don't do it for nothing. So if I give 50 million to the Reform Party, to Nigel Farage, and I say to him, right, Nigel, here's 50 million, get in power, hope this works, hope this gets you into power. But guess what? As soon as he gets in power, he's gonna have to sort of pay back that 50 million in some way or another.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, like I say, I am not Reform's biggest. I think a lot of,
This is my natural growth, man. I don't know what you lot are talking about, wig. This is my natural growth.
seriously, he's blonde and blue
This is my
eyed.
natural growth, man. I'm gonna get you lot cancelled. This is wigism. 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 Fair wigism going on.
Listen, at the end of the day, I am not. I don't know who I would vote for right now. Right now, I look at all the parties and I couldn't decide who I want to vote for. What we're talking about is the fact that we are seeing a lot of people going towards reform, and what we're asking you viewers to come and tell us why or why you're not, and also to ask questions.
Yeah. Someone wants to know who you voted for last. It's quite a private thing to ask people, really. I don't know if that's.
Yeah,
I think that's quite a private thing, especially for being creators, because we want to stay impartial. So it's probably
yeah.
not.
Well, I want to stay neutral.
Yeah.
I want to stay neutral.
She voted UKIP 100%.
It's all the time
Do
to
you know what? I can't even remember who I voted for, to be honest with you. But guys, I'm a realist, guys. I don't think anything's ever gonna get better. Like, until everyone starts talking to each other and stops saying you're on the left and you're on the right. I think that the government are gonna continue to do what they're doing. Their rich mates are gonna get richer and richer.
Ricky, can I just correct you there? I will stand up for this one, right? It wasn't Labour. It wasn't Labour. Shall I tell you why? Jeremy Corbyn gives me the ick. It gives me the ick, and because he was Labour, I couldn't do it. He looks a bit no, right? So I've never voted, and I've never voted Labour.
Yeah.
Never voted Labour.
But
I can't. I just can't. I don't know why.
I don't know. And there is obviously other news today. Mr. T, we're going to call him Mr. T, is found not guilty of Teaism. Apparently, the judge threw the case out and said, the police did act very unlawful. They were very harsh on him. Mr. T thanked Elon Musk. He thanked Elon Musk for paying his £100,000 bill. I think T's got that in his back pocket, but. What are your thoughts? Was there any doubt of Mr. T's?
They couldn't do him for it because, like you said, the phone is you're allowed to keep your phone, especially if you're a journalist, which he claims to be. He claims to be a journalist. Half his arguments are, "I am a journalist." I can disagree or agree or whatever. He's becoming very, it's like that video I sent you last night. How did he manage to make that about him? He was talking about all these things that have been going off in the UK, the guy that was out walking his dog, the people on the train. And somehow he managed to turn it around and it was about me. He's becoming that megalomaniac that I envisioned. I just can't trust him. I just can't trust this man. Did he have that information that he claims that was on his phone? Probably not. But he wasn't even able to.
I think as far as Mr. T, like, obviously he didn't want to give him his phone. I do think he's funded by someone. I do think he's definitely funded by someone. And if it's another government that's funding him, then that's quite concerning. Like, I definitely think that. And I feel like with the amount of what's the word? The amount of conflict that he's caused in this, whether we like it or not, he's caused a lot of conflict. Like, rightly so, anyone mentioning the grooming and something like that. If people are, like we said it yesterday, if people are grooming, they're doing things to children. I don't care who they are, what color they are, I want them prosecuted. And if we don't have police officers that are strong enough to do that, that's their problem. That's a big problem, to be honest with you. We need to get that sorted out ASAP.
And
You cannot be afraid of being called racist if like just like the guy yesterday that was a couple of days ago, the innocent guy that was tased, like the police they just acted, they saw they were the intelligence they got was two black guys, they saw a black guy and they tased him, like it was an innocent guy, but
what have we done for British society? We're here asking questions.
what have we done for British society? I do quite a bit for society, actually. I volunteer. I coach children. I have a healthcare
You
company
need
that
to answer that question, really,
I
don't
have a healthcare company that helps disabled people, looks after them. I do quite a bit, actually. I do
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I'm a mother of a disabled child. I work within disabled community things. I was also sort of a big helper in starting one of the biggest St George Day parades in the UK
Yeah,
that has been going for 20 years.
yeah,
And to just answer the size question about that I'm a right-wing racist.
yeah.
No, babes.
I think what you have to do though is is it Sai, isn't it? I think there are people that are gonna agree with certain things from all different parties. Like I think that's just natural. I think you've got to be a very limited person if you say I'm just gonna stay Reform, I'm just gonna stay Labour, I'm just gonna stay Conservative. Like you might agree with different things from every one of their groups. Like I don't think it's right to just label people, especially not racist as well. That's very that what that does is it stops the conversation. The moment you start calling people racist, like it just ruins it. Like and what you're seeing now is people are saying the typical one is I'm bored now. I don't mean nothing. Like I'm not ready. Like that's what you're getting now, basically. Like reform may well win. But after today, after their recent announcements about lowering the minimum wage and stopping people from claiming benefits, I feel like people might start voting for their self-interest, just like the rich people do.
Yeah, I think. Why is she not racist? Because she's got one black mate. Yeah.
Or why is she racist then? That's the better question.
Why racist?
Why is she racist? Why
Yeah,
is
tell
she
me why
racist?
I'm racist. And just
Why is she
anyway.
racist? All right, guys, what I'm going to do, okay, guys, people are requesting to come up, guys, okay? Let's keep it clean. Like, we want to have conversations with people.
Simple.
And we want to have conversations with people. And literally, guys, just like if you've got a question, just come in with one question, and then we'll do that. So that way we can keep it moving and stuff.
Because
Let's
I
go.
like reform. I don't like reform.
That's
I've
not
just told you.
that's a bit silly. You can't just say someone's racist because they like reform. Right, here we go. Let's go. We have Nazir. What's happening, Nazir? What's happening? Nazir. All right,
Nazir, are you here?
Nazir's not ready. Without being able to name the policy. Yeah, do you know, we do have a funny video, actually, of people about that guy that approached all those reform voters. And they were
One of my favourites.
let's not kid ourselves, guys. Like, the reform's base is on anti-immigration. That is their base. Whether you want to say that's racist or not, that is their base. Like, most people don't have a clue about their policies, like, their manifestos and stuff. It's been released, and it's, I think I've got it. Oh, where is it? It's here somewhere. Wait, I have got it up. Let me get it up in a second. Yeah, it's been here. So, zero income tax for the first 20,000. It doesn't say anything about lowering the minimum wage. Oh shit.
No, but they like you say, they have announced it, and they've also announced, like you say, that PIP is going to be looked at. Now, I will say this: for people that genuinely need PIP, it is hard enough to jump through the hoops that they are already going through.
Yeah.
It's going to be made even harder.
Sorry, Key. I just want to ask a question quickly. If reform, they're very strong on anti-immigration. They're very strong on on their immigration policies. If they lower the minimum wage, aren't they going to encourage a lot of people working for maybe working for less money than what the average Brit would work for? Aren't they going to could they not be encouraging a little bit of what they're scared of, and 0-hour contract? Like, that is a reform policy. Guys, can you Can anyone tell me if they're interested in 0-hour contracts? Like,
Yeah,
I don't think
they want to push for these.
Yeah, yeah,
They
it did.
want
Yep.
push. That means that you don't get holiday pay.
Yeah.
You don't get sick pay. This is 0-hour contracts. Okay, it gives you a bit of freedom.
Reform have said nothing about minimum wage. Can you just school this guy? They were literally on telly today, just like you just turn your telly on, get off your favorite feed on TikTok or on X or whatever you're
Nigel
watching.
Farage has given a press conference and has announced that he plans to lower the minimum wage when he gets in. It is something that he's looking at. And I'll point it out again. If you are under 21, that's £8.60 an hour. If you are over 21, that's £11.44 at the moment. That is why they will be able to lower the taxes on people under 20,000. Because they're
See, they're kind of gifting you, and they're trying to give you in one hand and taking away with the other, really, aren't they? Kind of.
yeah, it's crazy. It's just absolutely crazy. Also, I can't remember the name of the guy. He's another reform guy that stood up and said, the PIP system, we know it's being abused. We know it's being abused.
Yeah.
And you are going to your doctors. And Nigel, again, reinforced it within this thing he did this morning or last night. And he said, we know it's being abused. We're going to make it even harder for you to get it. It's not going to be just a doctor, that says this person's got anxiety. We're going to make you jump through hoops.
Yeah.
And for those that genuinely need it, it is so hard to do, and you have to do it every 3 years.
Yeah.
It is pages upon pages of saying the same thing over and over again. I had, I think I can remember about a year ago, I had a chat with a politician, my local politician, and I said, when you go in, can you please tell them that there are people out there with no limbs, right? They ain't going to sprout limbs in 3 years. So you don't have to keep asking, are you still the same?
Yeah. Kitty, someone's just put anxiety is manageable. Too many benefit scammers or something like that. There probably is, 100%. Like, some of the young people that are just preferring not to work is like, it's obvious. This is the thing. The new generation of these young kids now, they don't know hardship. They've been spoiled with all this technology, the phones. Now they prefer to lay in their beds and claim benefits. And if you sit on your phone for long enough and you watch enough go down enough rabbit holes on your phone, that will mess up your anxiety. Sort of, you'll just get stuck there, and that'll become your world. People are living in their phones. That's their new world.
The guy that announced that they were going for these PIP claims, like I said, I can't remember his name, actually said after the interview, he was talking, he says, we know they do it because I used to work for CAB, Citizens Advice Bureau, and we knew how to fill the forms in, making sure that people got the benefit. So they know that there is a loophole. They know that there's a way to get it. I am not going to lie. I've always been very, very honest with everybody. I struggle with borderline personality disorder. I have a mental health disorder, right? And one of the things that I loved to do was go to work, love to graft, love to keep my mind occupied.
Yeah, sorry, no, it's my daily house end video comment rather.
Oh, okay. Really? Well, it's better than the usual ones, isn't it? That we got that day when.
Yeah. I mean, I tend to know. I think at the minute. Everything is very clicky at the minute, and people are very sensitive at the minute to there's a lot of the enemy of my enemy is my friend going on at the minute. I'm seeing there's a lot of that stuff going on at the minute.
Are people not allowed to have their own opinions without being literally, sort of vilified? I mean, this obey your masters. Shut up. You know what? If nothing else, right, I will say this about Bruds. He's obviously got no masters because he thinks for himself.
I can't sit back and let anyone not brainwash me, but like, I've got my own mind. No matter who it is, I've spoken to a lot of people from all different places, all different groups, all different religions. Like, and I can think, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. But there's something in me that says, I need to keep doing research and keep studying and keep learning and stuff. I can't be allowed to be brainwashed. Like, even when we went to that march, and I could just see some of these guys looking up at the speakers, and they were like, yeah, 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 and I was just like, oh my god, this is embarrassing.
You and I just kept looking at each other, going, especially when the Kiwi guy came on. That was just ridiculous.
God. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people did meme that. Don't worry about Yassi. He comes in all the time.
He's just an angry little boy. Angry.
Someone asks, Sai asks, what do you like about the reform policy? What do you like about reform?
I don't like about anything, babe. I don't like them. I don't trust them, and that's why I'm saying ask the questions. But I know that a lot of people do like them, and I know when you look, I'm not saying this is me. I'm saying when people look at the manifesto, I can understand why they're going, oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, I like that, because their manifesto and the list of things that they're going to do, allegedly, looks fabulous. Yeah. Come on, we read them out, didn't we? And even you were like, oh, that sounds fabulous. But we need to ask the question, how are you going to do it? Yeah. Where are you going to take that money from? Because you want to invest however much into the NHS. Where are you getting that money from? Yeah. Where are you getting it from?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just don't believe any of these politicians. I don't believe any of these politicians. I don't think any of them have got any sort of cojones at all. Just the way Nigel Farage would be a joke dealing with Trump. Like, Trump would literally, it would be embarrassing. It would be so embarrassing watching Trump and Nigel Farage. Well, actually, Trump won't be there. I was thinking about that the other day. Trump won't be there as long as if we don't force an election.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Nigel Farage is a big supporter of Donald Trump, and he wants to bring a lot of what's going off in America over here.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. She said she likes a lot of reform policy. I says on paper it looks good. There's a difference. Listen to what I'm saying, right? Open your ears, open your eyes, and I'm telling you now, on paper, to the person on the street, it looks amazing. But I'm asking those people to start asking questions. How are you going to do it? Where's the money coming from? Because you haven't mentioned the elderly. And you haven't mentioned the disabled. So my thing is, that's where the money's coming from. And these are the people that need it. These are the people that need our help the most.
Yeah. I just don't have faith. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have faith in any government. What I would say, shout out to Mando, what I would say is that the tone of reform, like that politician Sarah Potchin, the tone of her, I don't think I think that's really disgraceful, to be honest with you. To think that kids,
it's disgusting.
I think for little kids that are going to be in school, going to be in school, and they should be looking up to our, not looking up to our MPs, but it should be seen as a respectable sort of job and role. But to hear someone spout that and speak it the way she said it, I just think that is just disgusting. So I can't get behind any of I can't, even if I like their policies, I wouldn't be, if Nigel Farage came out and said, Sarah Potchin, you're fired, get out this policy, that's not the kind of language we want to use in here. Then I would have had respect for him. The fact that he tried to sort of deflect on it is, yeah.
Yeah, Colsey, he also said, right, he's just said Farage did a speech on the economy yesterday. He also said at the same time he's going to lower the minimum wage to £8 from £8.60. How much lower can we go? One guy has just told me that he works with 16 to 19-year-olds and 90% of them want to work. Why would you want to work for less than £8.60 an hour?
So are you winding us up?
Yeah,
over
he is.
I think he's winding us up over.
Yeah, he's
trying to get a rise out of us. He's trying to get a rise out of us. I think.
He obviously likes angry women.
He's trying to get a rise out of you, Kitty. I think.
Yeah, well, he likes angry women.
Young people young people earn too much money according to reform. I think what you're gonna get, guys, you're gonna get is like under Nigel Farage, you're gonna get 0 hour contracts. What English people want to work under 0 hour contracts? All right, guys, I'm gonna start letting people in. One question, one answer, and then we're gonna keep it moving. Okay, guys. Let's get the person in there first. Ashley Yama. Oh, Yama.
They must.
Ashley, how are we doing, sir?
Hello.
Ashley. Ashley. Oh, he pushed the wrong button on accident. Never mind.
You guys can't keep up now, I can't.
There is a lot of comments going. There's a lot of comments, and I've got it's weird as well when if anyone does like content creation, and obviously I'm live on like 5 other platforms as well, guys. So I'm sort of like,
I know he's busy because he's letting me go, and I'm ranting. The minimum wage should not be reduced. Exactly, it shouldn't be reduced. It can't be reduced anymore because it's at its lowest that it should be. £11.44 for a person over 21.
Yeah.
And then you're on a 0 hour contract. Behave.
Yeah, I think announcing 0 hour contracts, announcing that you're gonna lower the minimum wage for young people that can vote. I think, and also we know the people that don't work, they tend to sort of flirt around the reform sort of. The demographic sort of flirts around the reform, sort of leaning far right sort of parties. I think they may lose their base. That's what I know, but you couldn't live like that now. So I remember when I used to earn £7.40, and I used to hate that at minimum wage. Like, telling these.
When I started working, it was £27 a week.
Wow.
£27 a week on a thing called YTS, which was a youth training scheme. But I will say this: you did learn a craft, and you did learn. You spent 2 years working, and then they either took you on or whatever. But you'd had 2 years of work experience and £27 a week. Remember, this was in the sort of very early 90s, maybe late 80s. So you could live on £27 very, very hardly, as long as you was living with your parents and so on and so forth. But there's no way young people can live on less than. That's almost like you say, £7.40. Is that where he's going to go, back to £7.40? Because you can't go. How much lower can you go than £8.60?
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of these some people just reminiscing on their earnings and stuff. NVQ 65 quid per week. Paid my mum £20 per week rent. Man dog.
I bet you had a night out on that as well, didn't you, Marie? Yeah.
Man dog, how goes you, sir?
I'm okay, sir. I'll be honest, I accidentally pressed, I was just tapping away, accidentally pressed the guest request.
All right. What's your thoughts so far on what's going on today?
Just a quick one, really. You know how Reform are saying that they'll increase the tax-free threshold to 20k before you start paying tax?
Yep.
How can they do that, such a severe tax jump, when Liz Truss tried to alter the tax boundaries and stuff like that, and she practically crashed the economy? So how can he promise that when an example of 4 years ago did what it did?
These are the questions that we want you to ask, because like you say, they're coming out and saying these things. This is what we're going to do, and on paper it looks fabulous, doesn't it? It looks like, oh wow, yeah, they're going to be less tax on over 20k. But we know that it's not possible. You can't
do that. That's like, it's not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. These are just lies to get in. Like, Reform are stirring the pot on people's anger at the minute, which a lot of people have said over here. Like, at least if you're going to vote Reform, at least make them earn their vote. But then again, I say that they ain't going to do what they say anyway. They're going to lie. Like, like all politicians, they want to lie. But I just don't like the tone of the Reform MPs. Like, it's getting distasteful, disgusting. Anyone of colour does some sort of crime, they're posting it on their posts, and oh look, so-called English person does this. Like, it's just distasteful for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Bear says that Farage just wants to make the rich richer. All politicians. That's all politicians. Yeah. Go back to every government that's ever been, and how many of them have kept their promises. How many of them have come into office and gone, right, this is what we're going to do, and they've done it.
And you see, this is what I mean. They're like these MPs are scumbags. Do you see them just jumping ship? I'm seeing just leaving parties and going to another one. Like someone said, they're all ex-Tories
Yeah,
and stuff. They're
they
literally
are
just
all
they're
ex-Tories.
jumping ship. Oh, we can't. These people are just power hungry. They want it. Like we're kind of starting to see it now. Like these politicians, they don't care what master they serve. They just want to be in power. Like, you know, and once they get in power, they just what do you think they're gonna do? They're gonna freaking pay they're gonna give their friends tax breaks. You know, they're gonna all their friends that own hotels, they're gonna shove more people in there, make money on the side from that as well. Like, you know, I just don't trust any of these politicians. I'm sorry, guys.
I think because one of the things I've always said is because he went on I'm a Celebrity, a lot of people think that he is one of the people. He's still a toff. He's still a toff. He still went to boarding school. He's not one of the people. Just because he ate sheep's knackers, it doesn't make him one of the people.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it does seem like they are going to win by default because the people that are divided between Labour and Conservative are like what it will take. I don't know whether the Labour and Conservative can come together and make one party sort of thing to sort of crash. I think that's the only way that's going to stop Reform getting in, you know. And then you got people. I can't remember that other company that.
There's Advance UK.
Advanced UK. Yeah, there's people doing that as well. It's all basic. If it's kind of like, you know, if you don't vote for the Democrats or the Republicans, like, you know, a vote is basically just a wasted vote, basically.
The problem is we have nobody else to vote for. Who do we vote for? If you can't vote, we don't want to vote for that one. We don't want to vote for that one for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Ricky, you're exactly right, and this is what we've been saying for the last couple of weeks. We do need somebody that's going to stand up and go, do you know what? You can't buy me. You can't give me money. I have no skeletons in my closets. There is nothing you can do to bend me in any way.
Yeah. I always get stick for when I say this, like, you know, we need a dictator kind of leader that's good for the people, that puts England first, and, you know, that's a little bit tasteful, like, you know, there's a way with dealing with, like, you know, immigration and stuff like that. You know, no one in their right mind thinks it's okay for the boats and the hotels, like, you know. I think, like, you know, just set up safe systems for people, like, you know, and, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, obviously, like when you say a dictator would be good, you don't mean like the genocidal kind.
No, of course, of course not. I mean, yeah. I'll let you go. Go.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, somebody said this comment somewhere a few 3 months ago. What they said was companies that have sort of dictatorship, like basically places that don't really have elections or change leaderships or anything like that. Because they're in power for 30 plus years, they can get huge infrastructure projects done. Whereas, like, because we change governments every so often, like look at HS2, that just keeps dragging on and on and on. Whereas you've got other countries that have had like the same party regimes for 20 plus years. They're smashing out all these high-speed rail trains and
killing them,
skyscrapers and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's living good. Everyone's like Dubai. You know, they just, you know, they got a desert, but somehow they got all this gold. I don't know where they're getting the gold from. That's another question. But, you know,
yeah, exactly. Look at China. China's the same. Russia's the same.
Yeah, but
you know,
Russia and China, like I've said before, they're actively doing trade deals with African countries. You know, they're doing the right thing. Like, you know, I think we're in a situation where we're guilty by association, like, you know, with America. Like, everything we do is linked to America. And these African countries now, they're saying, you know what, we've got our resources. You know what, we're gonna let China dig it up. They're gonna build at least a hospital or build something for us. And then, you know, you've got, like, you know, what's going on now is you're getting proxies. Proxies are popping up, like, you know, proxy armies are popping up, starting wars in countries, like you're seeing it now, and it's not great. China, exactly. China will just within 20. If something isn't done to stop, and I don't mean this threats or anything like that. If we don't try to trade or do the right stuff to sort of stay on the level with China, China will destroy us. You know, they're making it mandatory. They're making it mandatory for their kids under I think from 8 years old. to teach them AI software, AI programming and stuff like that. AI is going to clean up. AI is going to destroy the working man. You know, once they get their robots popping, they ain't even going to need you lot. Like, they ain't even need people. They're just gonna like, we got robots to do this, we got robots to do that. What's everyone going to do? Coding as well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I've always said, I mean, when you say that, I always bring up the fact that Margaret Thatcher was in thingy for 11 years and she did a lot of bad, but my God, did she have balls, and she stuck by her guns. She did exactly what she said she was going to do. And that, I think that was our last semi-decent leader.
Yep.
After that, we had the likes of Tony Blair taking us into wars we had no business going into.
Yeah. What about if William just steps up and says, right, I'm gonna when Pappy dies, I'm gonna be the king, and I'm gonna be in charge, and I'm gonna be in charge for the next 30. Well, I'm gonna be in charge until the end of my days. I'm gonna abolish the government, and I'm gonna start running the company, the country as a company. I think that's the only way. You look at Putin. Putin just laughs at all the politicians. He's like, yeah, haha, you're in power for 4 years. There'll be someone else coming. There'll be someone else coming in 4 years. I'm staying in power. Like, you know, until we have that kind of leadership.
She did take us to war. You're damn right. Thatcher did take us to war, but a war we won, and we kept the Falkland Islands. What I'm saying is, whether we liked what she did or what she didn't do, she had the balls to stick by what she'd said. She had the balls. I personally, I'm the daughter of my family were all miners, so you can imagine how much we enjoyed Margaret Thatcher. But at the end of the day, she had the balls to do what she was doing, and this is what the sort of leader. I'm not saying her. I'm saying this is to me what Broodsy's talking about. The sort of leader that goes, no, I'm not doing that, and they're going to say, well, we're going to bring this up. Do it. Yeah. Do it. You know, one of them. I don't care. We need somebody that is got the balls to stick up for this country.
Yeah.
And also say, you know what, America, bro.
That's the first thing we need to do. We need to have obviously have. It would be nice to stay in NATO and stuff, but you know, we need to be able to make our own decisions on stuff, like, you know, basic stuff, like, you know, we're not getting pulled into no wars, like, you know, we're not funding any countries. But this is the problem, guys. Pharmaceutical companies, military companies, these are the companies that run the world. Oil and gas companies, they run the world. So, you know, if there's no wars, if there's no wars, these armor companies, you know, these ammunition companies, these gun companies, technology companies, they don't make any money.
So, Chris, would you if you was running the country, you would like the fact that America are lording it over us? Because that's what they're doing right now. How did he embarrass? I mean, I know not many of us like Starmer, but he made him look like a fool the other day. He made him look like a complete and utter. Sorry.
That's it.
This is Great Britain. This is a country that, okay, we did a few bad things, but we were ruling the world.
Why are we scared of America? I don't get it. Why are we scared of America? Like, you know, you want your politician to come in like a king, like, you know, yeah, I'm in charge, like, you know, I'm the big dog in here as well, like these other countries that have come out, like Zelensky, you know, like Trump humiliating presidents and stuff in the Oval Office, like, you know, we can't have that crap, you know, we need a king, we need a king, guys, that's going to come in and take control and be in charge and make decisions. What do you think?
And I hope it's William.
Quiet.
I hope it's William.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think we do need stronger leaderships here, and we shouldn't just keep staying on the basis of bowing down to America.
It's embarrassing. Really embarrassing.
I think, but the other side of it is one of them allies you do need.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
we can be friends with them. You know, you can be friends with them. We can be friends with China and Russia as well, and we can start trading with them. Like you say, they're the big dogs. I don't care who I think they're bigger than America.
Yeah. And just, you know, stop funding. Like, you know, I don't see why I keep going on about Ukraine and stuff, but why are we giving them weapons, pumping weapons into them, pumping money into them to a war that they can't win? Like, you know, this is just money laundering, like, you know, for the richest companies. Like, you know, why would you do it? It don't make no sense. You're giving them weapons. What's going to happen, you know? And people are talking about yeah, they're ready to go and fight for China and all the rest of it. Fight for Ukraine and all the rest of it. Go to fighting against Russia. I'm like, guys, I saw a video the other day of they tied this very big man up and they put his head on a stone. And this guy had a hammer and literally, like, no, we don't want any part of that, man. We don't want no part of that. We want to stay here, where the weather's the weather's not too good, but we get a few summers a year.
We don't owe them anything. We don't owe them anything. Somebody's just said we owe them due to World War II. We don't owe them anything.
What about India? They gave more troops than any country. A lot of people forget about India in World War II.
And do you think little moustache man was going to stop at Europe? Do you think that he would have stopped at Europe because Japan had got involved and blah, blah, blah? You have to look at it that way. America came in because they of Pearl Harbor. He'd sent whatever he'd sent over and he was showing them that they were next. That's why they came over.
Yeah.
Like you say, the Gurkhas, they were in the thick of it as well. There was loads of countries that came together because Moustache Man was on a rampage, basically. And, we all came together. America doesn't want anything to do with... They think we are a weak and useless country.
It's really bad that, you see all these so-called patriots out in the street and they don't realise how many countries came together and fought side by side to fight these wars, and then they turn around and say, no, you're not English. Doesn't matter, you're born there. You're not English. The guys, distant. These guys found just like he would have had World War II veterans probably in their family, just like you have, So that's crazy.
You owe them. The UK and the US pressured the Ukraine to give up their nuclear weapons. They haven't stopped them going to bloody war and killing 5,000 people a week, though, have they? Tell me why that war is still going ahead. Make it make sense.
Well, how did the question is, how did Ukraine even get the nuclear weapons? How did they get them? Because I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it was a foolish mistake in their eyes. It was just same thing with Iran. If they had nukes, Israel wouldn't have been able to bomb them. They would have been like, if you bomb us, we're gonna send something. You can send it back, but we're gonna send something straight over to you.
What did you say the other day? What we should do? You said we literally close off the island. We become like a sovereign nation, and we literally look after ourselves, build our. We both said we need to build this country back up, get out of Africa, and stop sort of pillaging there and whatever, and just look after our own and build this country back up to what it was.
But it sounds like, I was thinking about it the other day with Elon Musk, how much money he has. The guy's a South African. He's like one of the richest men in the world. He's got, I think they said something like, how much is it? Is it 400 billion he's got or something stupid like that? The guy could literally I get it, he's worked hard for his money, but the guy's more interested in Mars rather than Earth. He could literally, imagine having that much money, you could literally, you could resolve so many problems, and even in South Africa, you could make that you could make it like a palace, basically, Oh, sorry, Ibrahim Muhammad, let's get him in. Do you want to come in, or are you pushing the wrong button? Yeah, BlackRock, I don't like to talk about them. What's weird is you see Elon Musk on Joe Rogan the other day, and even he said, he was talking about, the powers that be, people are the shadow sort of people, the ones that make decisions and stuff, and he was continuously saying, I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal. Just so you know, I'm not suicidal.
A couple of times, haven't we?
That should tell you a lot, innit? If the richest man in the world has to say something like that, well, to be fair, they pushing the wrong button. Okay, no worries.
Not something we want to talk about today. Pushing wrong buttons.
Very good. Well, okay, let's finish with Mr. T. Found not guilty at the minute. Sorry, Mando, you gone? Yes, peace, bro. Thanks for coming in, Mr. T. What are your thoughts then? He'll obviously be suing the police, I'm sure.
I'm sure this is just going to make him worse.
He's probably going to get like a Trump kind of settlement, if he sues them for that. Because I don't know why. Did you hear that he said that some undercover people, when he was in prison, some undercovers came in and they wanted him to work for them.
No,
I,
and
I,
he swapped it as
And,
well.
and yeah, he was on a podcast the other day, and he was literally saying, "No worries, buddy, no worries." Um, yeah, he was literally saying the other day when he was in prison, he got visited by these young people, and they said that they were a special unit, and they said to him like, "Look, we want you to work for us undercover." And
What, like an
apparently he turned them down. Apparently
yeah,
he turned them
what?
down.
Why am I against Tommy Robinson? I'm not against Tommy Robinson, babe. I just think he's going to get too big for his boots and he'll just ruin it. And I think, like anything, I think it will go to his head. I mean, we walked around that rally, didn't we? And we was like, this is just, it was like an ego. And it really was. Everybody was lauding about him. I think he's
What?
bigger. He thinks he's bigger.
Yeah. About Tommy, like does he like he was obviously one of the first people to start talking about the grooming gangs and stuff and it shouldn't have taken Tommy doing his
No.
research just finding out this information and I say it again, guys, I don't care what color you are, I don't care if you're black, if you're doing things to people, you need to be, especially children and little girls, you should be in under the jail. So I've got no problem with that. Oh,
Yeah.
you want
Oh,
you?
yeah.
I'll come up
We
then, buddy.
all,
Come up, buddy.
yeah. We all applaud him for what he did. I'm not taking anything away from him. I just think he's at that point now where he's gonna. Well, I already think he's been bought.
Ibrahim, how are we
Hello,
doing,
mate.
sir? Ibrahim, how are we doing, sir?
I'm doing fine, thank you. How you guys doing? I really love the topic you guys are talking about today.
Okay.
I just wanted to say from my part, it's really you guys are talking about one of the most important topics out there in social media platform today. Also, just wanted to um just say my point of view, which is it's a very strange thing that it took this long for you guys to figure out that sometimes America, even though they are closest ally, um, it basically does not serve your best interest. How many wars did it get you guys into that you feel like it was totally unnecessary? The United Kingdom were not under threat. Their interests were not under threat. If you speak, for example, in the Middle East, the Iraq War, if you think about Libya, if you think about Syria, if you think about Afghanistan, if you think about so many other countries,
Yeah.
I just want to point out, for example, UK, the United Kingdom, is as rich, or if not richer, than the UAE. It's not about the country whether they have money or not. It's about the vision. If you avoided all those wars, if you avoided like funding the likes of the Middle East, the invading and attacking Gaza right now, as we speak. If you stopped investing in those countries and you just concentrated on your countries, like you could have literally established much more growth than Dubai. What's going on right now, in terms of like economy and people, businessmen actually going over there, leaving the United Kingdom and investing in that country simply because they're supporting business, entrepreneurship, and development. So I'm just saying, it's not only about um, the wars that are taking place right now that you guys are getting involved in that is totally unnecessary. It's also about the vision itself.
Yeah.
You guys are overtaxing your workers. A lot of businessmen that I've seen in East London, for example, it doesn't matter what ethnic background they're from. They all got British citizenship. They stayed in this country for over 2, 3, 4 decades, and whenever they want to invest in this country, they get overtaxed. They are not given any opportunity,
Yeah.
and they decide to go to, rather than creating jobs in the UK, they decide to go to UAE, Qatar, Kuwait,
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
Middle East countries.
Yeah.
So what's the reason for that? If you don't mind asking.
I just think, in terms of getting involved in the wars, you know, there's elites out there that we don't know, and they just do what they want to do, and they tell our politicians what to do, and that's it. This should tell everyone something. The guy that went to Iraq to check for the weapons of mass destruction, he came back and said there weren't any weapons of mass destruction. If you guys Google what happened to him and how they found this guy, it's literally something out of a movie. This guy apparently hung himself, and he was killed in the worst way possible, but framed as David Kelly. That's it, yeah. He was literally framed as a suicide.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say.
That should tell you guys something. We are under control from the people that are above and above. Our politicians are just puppets. This is why I say we need one leader. Not when I say everyone breathe a second when I say this. The way Putin is, no billionaire has got their hand up his skirt. No billionaire, no one. The way this guy deals with billionaires, like Trump deals with presidents, basically, of other countries. He just very dismissive. Do as I tell you, or you can get out. When McDonald's threatened him and said to him, if you don't stop this war with Ukraine, we're gonna pull all our stores. My man said to them, take your stores. Take your stores. We've already got your recipe. We've already got your shops in our country. We'll call it something else. We'll call it McPutin's.
All right. Thank you so much for agreeing with me on this aspect. Another thing I just want to ask you guys is that of all these wars that we have witnessed for the last 2 or 3 or 4 decades, which one of them actually served the United Kingdom in terms of none of them?
None.
None of them.
It made it worse. It made it worse.
Possibly the Falklands. Possibly the Falklands a little bit, and I think that was the last time, and that's because Argentina wanted to take them.
Those are little islands, really. We're talking about
like I say, that's the only one I could. If you wanted me to name one, I think that's the only one I could name.
What we done to Libya was that's a crime against humanity. What we done, that Colonel Gaddafi guy, his literally all the dividends from the oil sales used to go directly into his people's profits, into their banks. If you wanted to get married, my man would give you a 20 grand loan. If you wanted medication, free healthcare, free school. Was it 50? Sorry, my bad.
It was 50, my friend. Yes, and also like for example, Libyan citizens that wanted to get married over there, they will get free house and stuff like that. I was hearing he wanted to change the economy and create job opportunities in the whole of Africa, basically, not only in Libya. That's why when they were overthrowing him, you will see a lot of Western Africans going over there trying to support his regime. They labeled him as a dictator. They labeled him as someone who's a potential threat to Western civilization because he wanted to change the dollar currency.
Yeah.
All of these things. They accused him of what they accused of Saddam Hussein, or even more. But look at the Middle East today; is an absolute mess.
Ken, you're up next. Okay, we're just gonna say thank you for this guy for coming in. Ibrahim, thank you very much for coming in, sir. Some very valid points there, and we love to hear it, bro. Make sure you give us both a follow, yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Peace, bro. Have a good one.
Yes.
Hasta mañana.
Come on, Ken, because I'm dying to know who we worked with.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Ken, how are we doing, sir?
Yeah, really well. Thanks for giving me the opportunity, and I'm glad you're having some sensible conversation.
We're trying.
We are trying.
Listen, it's good to speak to what I consider not people of intelligence. I don't mean intellect.
Common sense, I would say. Common sense over here.
And of course, common sense isn't common.
No,
it's not. It's really not.
I will tell you this: the rules, the Western world, the rules are very, very simple. Okay, the rules are this simple: you give us what we want, or we'll kill you.
That's it.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
my old girlfriend, her father worked with Gaddafi. He was the advisor to the Libyan Air Force.
Wow.
Okay, he's still alive now. His name is Sanusi. Sounds like Zanussi, but it's Sanusi.
Okay.
His daughter, I had a little bit of growing up, we meet all these different people. So I had a little thing with her way back in the day. And like I said, he's still alive now. He's in Mallorca. According to him, or his daughter told me this, that the way Libya was, and of course all places are like this at one time or another, the wealth of any country goes to the ruler and his mates, basically. So that's what all rulers do. They look after their family and the ones surrounding them. Everything else comes secondary. It's not the picture we think it is. It's something else.
No.
That's all I can say. I wasn't there. I have no inside information. I just know
Yeah.
that this girl's father went to a meeting once, and based on the amount of people who were there, and he actually told me this himself. He said it got whittled down and down and down, and it was just him and another guy. And what came out was, why does he sponsor, Gaddafi supposedly sponsor international terrorism? At the time, we're going back quite a few years now. And what came out of that was, and it's a very strange answer, apparently he wanted others to feel the pain and the suffering that other people were feeling. So to impose on the world, this is what others feel. There's something coming your way as a throwback from whatever. Like I said, I heard that myself firsthand.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the BRICS thing is obviously, I know America's trying to do their utmost to try and stop it, but eventually, the fact that every country has to trade on the open market with the dollar, that's what's propping up the dollar. You know, they're able to just print money. You know,
Yes.
Eventually, like, China's doing the right thing. They're still exploiting some of the African countries, but at least they're building, things and giving them stuff, like, you know, like Ibrahim Traore. You know, you see what he's doing in Burkina Faso. Like, you know,
Well,
good God, man, what good God.
we hear about these things, okay? And I believe he's a man of principle. So I actually know someone who knows Ibrahim's brother.
Ooh.
Okay, so he's out, like he's going to go there and visit it. And this is a Jewish guy. When he tells me he can go into all of these places, I think, why was it dangerous? He goes, no one will touch me. I'm thinking, wow, how come? So I didn't realize the Vatican can give out knighthoods. Did you know that?
No.
The Vatican could give out knighthoods. I would expect so from the Pope. Yeah, I would expect so.
Yeah.
Is it called a knighthood, or is it called something else, like a sainthood?
Well, no, he's a Sir. This guy's a Sir David.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah, and I asked him, how did you become a Sir? I was thinking the royal family. He said, no, it's from the Vatican.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So
Never knew that. I thought they gave sainthoods, but I didn't know they gave knighthoods.
well, yeah. Like I said, the world isn't the way we think it is.
No.
I'm going to give you a small conundrum that you can perhaps work this one out yourself. I'll give you a couple of things. So first of all, Albert Einstein, one of the smartest people who ever lived, he gave his class a test one year. A year later to the date, exactly, he gave them another test. Halfway through the test, one of his students said, Dr. Einstein, this is the same test we had last year. To which Einstein replied, correct. The questions are the same, the answers have changed. So nothing ever changes. It's always the same, just a different answer.
Yeah. I suppose it is. Yeah, that's good. That's really intelligent when you think about it.
Yeah, I could see.
Involvement.
I could see when you came in just by your tone that you were a man of words. Let's just say.
Well,
I was just sitting back. I was just like, yeah, what's he gonna say now? Jesus.
Okay, I will tell you this. I've spent most of my time in communications.
I can tell.
When I say not telecommunications, talking about that, I would urge you to read this book called The Mobile Wave by Michael Saylor.
Okay.
And if you haven't heard of Michael Saylor, he has a company called MicroStrategy. And so once I read that book, and I've got it on Audible because I listen to books, I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this man is a genius.
Wow.
I then rang all my friends up and said to them, buy Bitcoin, $15,000.
Wow. Wow.
And they were like, well, why? And I said, because I've read this book and this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
So when he came out at 15,000 and said that suddenly alerted me to this guy operates on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
In 2011, he was predicting stuff that happened later on.
Wow. Wow.
So I'm going to give.
Sorry, Ken. We're just about to wrap up, okay? But what I was going to say is, we do like you are someone that definitely I'd like to speak to. We do like one-on-one interview sort of thing. I know we could probably learn. We could learn a hell of a lot from you. So if you give me a follow, I'll follow you, and we'll arrange it. We do it via video link. It's very easy.
Okay, let me. Have I joined you as a follow? Yeah, have I?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I followed you
Okay.
back. Yeah, I followed you back anyway. What we'll do is I'll send you a DM, and we'll get it sorted. But thank you very much for coming up, Ken.
Yeah, I'll repost you to my 10,000 followers as well.
Well, let's
thank
go.
Okay.
All right, Ken. You have a lovely day, sir.
Thank
I'll
you,
just repost
Ken.
you to my 10,000. All right.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Kitty, lovely chat. We spoke to some lovely people. I definitely feel like this is a better way to go, isn't it? Definitely a better way to go. Guys, thank you very much for joining us, guys. This is what we do Monday to Friday. We tried to kick it off strictly at 2:00, but sometimes it's about 2:30. We talk trending matters. We do life stories. So if anyone that's got any sort of crazy life experiences or anything they want to add, anything they want to share or promote, do send me or Kitty a DM. Kitty, I'll let you wrap it up for us.
Just
Brutsy and Kitty, we